The fifth ideal will be one that sets the Radiant free to use their powers as they believe they should be used, because they have shown that they can be trusted with that power. In order to talk about the fifth ideal, we need to talk about why the ideals exist to begin with. Why are the immortal words connected with surge binding? We learned throughout the series that the immortal words are connected to surge binding because they are designed to restrict the way in which people use the surge binding. Most impressively, we see in Rhythm of War the power of a bondsmith who is not restricted by the ideals. We can see this pattern in the way that the ideals affect Kaladin throughout his story. He is consistently restricted in what he does with his power by the oaths that he has sworn. The second ideal requires him to go back and save Dalinar, even though he could have gotten himself and his men free. The third ideal nearly breaks him as he struggles to go back and save Elhokar, even though he has so much reason to hate Elhokar. And the fourth ideal truly nearly does break the poor man because he cannot allow himself to let go and accept that he cannot protect everyone. But in doing so, in restricting the way that he uses his powers so that he's not constantly trying to save everybody, he is then able to most powerfully embody protection. But it's the Skybreakers that I think are going to give us the hint we need to unlock the secrets of all the other orders' fifth ideals. And it is fitting that we see that through the eyes of Szeth son Neturo, Truthless of Shinovar. From the very beginning of the story, he is the most bound of all the characters. He has bound himself to obey the order of anyone holding his oath stone. This ideal is restricting his power, his potential, his everything, because he cannot be trusted to make his own choices. Now, we all see that that was unnecessary and unhelpful, and ultimately hurt him quite a bit. And we see the freedom that comes as he begins to swear life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination. That frees him from the oath stone and moves him forward toward the second ideal. I swear to seek justice, to let it guide me until I find a more perfect ideal, the second ideal of the Skybreakers. The third ideal, I swear to follow the will of Dalinar Kholin. This is my oath. Now that is specific to Szeth, but they call this the ideal of dedication. The idea is not only will they follow law, but now they will follow a particular person or principle's interpretation of that law. Again, they're restricting themselves. They're reducing what they're able to do. And look what we even learn about that third ideal from the High Spren. It says down there that it is when they swear this oath, they bond their spren at the third ideal, and that gives them access to the surge of division, that powerful surge. So they're only trusted with more power when they have bound themselves with more oaths. It's important to note this is also when generally most orders are getting their blade as well. And then, even further beyond, we have the Skybreaker restricting themselves not just to follow the law, not just to follow a particular person's interpretation of the law, but to find something to dedicate themselves to in a crusade. Something that they must go and cleanse or purify, some great act. And their High Spren must approve of it and approve of their actions. Further restriction on how they're using their power. Now here's where things get very interesting. The next ideal breaks open this pattern. If you've been following along, every ideal has been more restrictive, more controlling, less power, less freedom in exchange for a little bit more surge binding, a blade, a plate. But look at the fifth ideal of the Skybreaker. Skybreakers. What is the fifth ideal? He asked. The ideal of law. It is difficult. You must become law. Become truth. They clarify that means law must come from somewhere. When Szeth confronts Nail about this later, you had motives beyond the law, Abushi. You were not impartial. You brutally enforced specific laws to achieve your ends. This is true. So this is just your own sentimentality? In part. Though I have certain leniencies. The others have told you of the fifth ideal. So suddenly, the fifth ideal, not restricting Nail, but rather empowering him, to make his own decisions about what is right, what is wrong, what does it mean to be law. Szeth's High Spren in Rhythm of War puts it this way: if you progress as a skybreaker, the High Spren said, you will need to become the law. To reach your ultimate potential, you must know the truth yourself, rather than relying on the crutch presented by the third ideal. Now you might be thinking, what on earth does this have to do with the Lightweavers? Here's my theory. Just as the Skybreakers become more and more bound in terms of following law, following interpretation, going and doing a particular task, they are proving that they can be trusted with law. They can be trusted with that power. And in the fifth ideal, their High Spren accepts this is a person that we can trust when they say, I am law. We are going to unlock the restrictions that have been put on them through the previous ideals, to the point where Nail is able to do things that are absolutely immoral, unjust, and wrong because he believes them to be the best thing, because he has sworn that fifth ideal and been given permission by his High Spren. Now, Lightweavers, what are they doing? They're speaking truths. They are unveiling truth about themselves. They are confronting falsehoods. At the same time, they are the order of artists. They are the order of creation. They are the order of speaking truth and having that truth become reality. So what I think is going to happen is that we're going to see that Shallan has spoken enough truths about herself to the point where she has understood what is true, what is really true about herself, and all the lies that she has told, and how those lies have hurt her. She will realize that the lies she has told in the past have been unhelpful and hurtful to herself. They've hidden her memories away that would have helped others. They have hindered her ability to love her family well and to move forward. And so the fifth ideal of the Lightweavers may very well be something like, I am truth. And it will allow her to speak into reality new truths. Not ones that hide reality from herself, not ones that hide her past from herself or where she's running away, but the ability to speak a beautiful lie into existence. That she will be a person that can be trusted to lie because she has committed herself to truth. That she will be trusted to create beautiful lies, wonderful, helpful creations. The most beautiful lie of all that becomes true. Shallan Devar is whole and well.